Welcome back to part 2 of our series where we are discussing content controls inside of a Word document using Word VBA. In our previous video, we got a high-level overview about what Word content controls are and how they can be beneficial to your Word documents. And then we also walked through adding a content control. In this case, we added a date picker. So we added a content control that allows you to select a date. And then we saw that we can take content controls and customize them to either meet our specific needs. So maybe making them a little bit more informative in the form of, hey, we want to say what today's date is. We want to change the format of that date, or even change just kind of the look and appearance of our content controls, albeit in a very limited fashion. And so what we're going to do next is we are going to explore some more content controls. I'm hoping to get them all covered in this video. But our next one is going to be the drop-down list. So we're going to see how to add a drop-down list inside of a Word document. Now, like I said at the end of the previous video, a lot of this code is going to be pretty much the same. Really where things start differing is the type of content control you're working with. And so because you have a different content control now, you might have some different functionality that you can play with and customize. However, accessing that collection or adding a content control, that's going to look very similar. And so because of that, I'm actually going to copy the module that you see in front of me, and we're just going to change a couple different parts about it, only because for the most part, it's staying the same. So the first thing we obviously want to do is change the name of our subroutine. And then in this situation, let's do content controls dropdown. We don't need a date in this situation. We don't need that. We will get rid of some of this. Now, remember, previously we did have bookmarks set up, so we're going to change this as well. So we're going to change this to drop down. And we're going to change this to drop down as well. And then from here, the next thing that we need to do is we need to change the type of content control that we're adding. So in this situation, we are going, where's my IntelliSense? I'm going to do type equals, and in this situation, we want a drop-down list. So that's the 5th one down. The range can stay the same because now we're referencing a different bookmark. This can actually stay the same as well. So this is something that's in common with every content controls. You can specify the appearance. And then also you can have a title as well. But in this situation, I'm going to change this title. And I'm going to change it to Programming Languages. Okay, so that's going to be the title of it. And with a drop-down list, it's kind of like you would imagine. You're going to be able to click a drop-down, and then you're going to be able to select from a list of options. So let's just see what this looks like on its own. So you can see here that I now have a content control, but the problem is I don't have any options to click from. So I need to add some options and do that. So how can we add some options? Well, what we can do is we can add items to something called the drop-down list entries collection. So we've seen, I think it was a while ago, but we had a video a while back talking about drop-downs and user forms and stuff like that. And so you're going to find that there's actually a lot in common when it comes to working with forms and content controls. Even though they're different objects, there are certain similarities when it comes to the logic behind how you would interact with them. Now, something I do want to do though is before I start adding in entries, I do want a placeholder. I want to say, to give a cue almost to the user to say what they should do next. So set the placeholder text. And this is just, thinking ahead and making sure that it's intuitive for the user to look at it and go, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do next. So there is a set placeholder text method. And in this situation, we can set that text. And so, sorry, I put it here. Oh wait, I don't need that one. I need the text equals. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, in double quotes, please select your favorite programming language. Just like that. So let's see what this looks like now. Oh, I love when it doesn't work like that. Please select your favorite programming language. That's the problem when you start deleting content controls, is if you're not careful, it will mess it up sometimes. So let's try this again. Oh, come on. Yes, it does. Okay, it looks like it looks like for whatever reason it says that it's not there. So I'm gonna have to add it again. That's the problem with bookmarks sometimes, is they don't work perfectly. But now we should be able to see it. And here's a good reference. That's how you add a bookmark if you were confused before. Okay, so we can see here, this looks a lot better. Very happy with how this looks. Now, the only problem though is it's still not, it doesn't have any options to select from. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna add some items to the dropdown. And so, well, how do we do that? Well, we're gonna go into our content control. And from there, there is a drop down list entries collection. And then there is an add method. And so it has, what is it? 3 arguments, but we're gonna only specify 2. So the first one is the text. This will be VBA. And then the index, the position of it in that drop-down list. It starts at 0, just an FYI. And then basically what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna copy this a few times. Okay, and then I'm gonna change each one of these. And then I think there is one more that I need to add. And that's gonna be number 6. And then here, we're gonna change this to Python. We have JavaScript, TypeScript, was it C++, C, and Java. Now, there's obviously tons more, but I don't have 2 years to list them all. Okay, so let's add those and see what we get now. This is a lot better. So I can do that. I can put it to Python, maybe. I can put it to VBA, maybe. C++, VBA. Oh, and I guess here index 0 means the last one. So more information for you, right? So what we're going to do next is we're now going to add a combo box. So a combo box is pretty much identical to a drop-down list. It's just, I guess, just a little bit different, a little bit more, I guess, customizable in a sense if you want to think about it. So in this situation, we're going to change this to combo box placeholder, and then we're going to change this one to combo box. We'll put this all there. Same here. What we're going to do is we're going to say word content control, level paragraph, level inline, level cell. My goodness, there is a ton of content controls. I don't remember seeing that many. Word content control combo box. Now from here, what are some things that we can do with it? Well, it's basically the same idea. We're going to keep this the same. This one, I'm going to change it to favorite Pokemon. I'm going to get rid of a few of these, and I'll change this to 1, not 12, 2. And then from here, we're going to do 3. And then we'll say Charizard, Venusaur, and then Blastoise. There we go. Please select your favorite Pokemon. That's going to drive me mad if I leave it there like that. It always does. Okay, so you can kind of see it's pretty much identical. Let's kind of see visually if it looks that much different. You can notice here, it's, it's, to me, I look at it and I kind of go, I don't really see what the difference is, but supposedly there's some stuff. If you want, you can always go to the documentation. There is some stuff here, so you can see there's different types of content controls. You can see here combo box, drop down list. I'm trying to see if they have. Let me go here really quickly. So we have a combo box. And then if we go to Word VBA, we will see, where is it? Drop down object, content control. I wonder if they have a specific one for combo box. Checkbox. I see a checkbox. Configs, comments, column object. I guess they don't. But they do have one for content controls, if I can find it. Content controls. Here we go. And then we can see content control object. And then you can notice here, there's, of course, different ones that you can add. We can do type. So there's the type, there's XML mapping. There is color. So you can, I'm not sure if you could do this. Word color. I guess maybe you could put it even to the content. So you could say word content control color equals, ooh, let's do green, bright green. Let's make it really obvious. Set the color. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, I could live with that. Oh, I was like, did I misspell Blastoise? I probably did. But so you can set the color of it as well. Multi-line. Range, placeholder text, showing placeholder text. So you can even, it looks like you can even turn off oh no, it's read only. So it looks like this one will specify whether you're showing the placeholder text or not. Okay, that's kind of interesting as well. You can have an ID as well. There is a checked option and a creator. Appearance, we've already talked about that one. So yeah, with combo boxes, I don't know. To me, it's like, it just seems identical to what we see here. I guess this is maybe just a little bit, I don't know. To me, they look identical, but I could be wrong. If anyone has a suggestion as to when it might be advantageous to use the combo box versus the drop-down list, I'd be very happy to hear it. We're going to move on to our next one, and that is a checkbox. And so a checkbox is like you go in here and you want to say check on and off, stuff like that. So in this situation, I'm going to again change the reference to it. In this case, it's going to be the checkbox. We're going to say checkbox. And then we're going to do a checkbox right here. So you can see that the range is still going to stay the same because obviously we're still referencing the correct range. We're just going to kind of go through and change some different properties about it. So I'll say here, this one, do you like Star Wars? It better be yes. And then with this one, let's do bright. I like bright green, but I want to see if there's other ones. Are there other ones that are beyond? I want to see if there is word blue gray. Blue gray. Ooh, dark blue, dark green, dark teal. So many options. Olive green. Let's do blue gray. I haven't used that one before, I think. So we'll set the color. In this situation, we are not going to have a placeholder text. And then here's something I'm going to show you. I'm not going to necessarily set it, but I'll show you. You can actually specify the appearance of what a checked symbol looks like and an unchecked symbol looks like. So to kind of give you a little bit more context, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the content control and to show you what it looks like and then what setting the checked and unchecked symbol would do to it. So you can see here, okay, it's checked. You notice how there's an X in it? That's the thing that you can change. So you can change it using VBA to make it where it would be a different like icon or stuff like that. The only problem is I haven't been able to find a list that specifies the different character numbers that are allowed for it. And so to show you, you can set the unchecked symbol. So for example, I can say word content control dot set unchecked symbol, and then it's going to have a couple arguments. One is the character number, and then it's supposed to be a long, but if you look at the documentation, they give you this like very abstract, or that's the way I look at it. It's this very abstract combination of letters and numbers. And then you can also specify the font. And so if I want to do Seago UI, I could even do like maybe I semi-bold, something like that. It will change the appearance of it. And then additionally, what I can do is I can set the state. So set the state of the checkbox. So for example, I can take that content control and I can say checked equals false. See? Now, by default, it's obviously false, but just demonstrating you can set it preset to something if you wanted it to be preset. Now you notice here, it's doing everything that we were kind of expecting. Now, I'm going to try and look this up and see if we can find anything. I'm not holding my breath, but we will try. Word content control character number. No, I don't want that. I want the actual a number or a symbol. So honestly, Better Solutions is actually a really good page. They do a decent job of documenting stuff, so I'll give them credit where credit is due. They make it very nice. Yeah, it's weird. I haven't been able to find a specific list of all the characters yet. And if somebody finds that, I'd be happy to look at it because it's a little bit confusing, to be honest, when I started looking at it. And I'm like, what is going on? Oh, wait, here we go. Interesting. I wonder if... Checked symbol. Interesting. Let me see something really quick. I wonder if there is a... Interesting. Let's do this for a second. So sometimes, not always, what you can do... Okay, so that's your checked symbol. This is your unchecked. Oh, this is a lot easier. I can live with this. Let's do something fancy. Let's do this like, I guess, percentage one. Oh, you can, okay, here you go. So if I do Seago UI, okay. Let's try this. It cannot be deleted, cannot be edited. So there's some properties too that you can set of it. There's the color bounding box. We can also add tags to it. So this is something that's nice if you want to be able to do it. Now, what I did is I was recording a macro at the same time. So let's see if it returns the character code. Okay, yeah, it looks like it does. So it looks like if you can give the character number, it doesn't have to be that fancy one, but you can change it as well. Okay, that's good to know. I'll put some more documentation in there. Maybe I can find a list or something, because I saw this and I'm like, where did you get that from? Because it's in the documentation, but I didn't see it. But additionally, too, just to kind of highlight some things that we saw from that little form box is, there's a tag in it as well. You can also do things like allow delete selection, things like that. So you can really make this pretty customized. I personally love these little things because I think they make the Word document more interactive. But with that being said, we have covered pretty much most of the content controls that I wanted to at this point. If you want to see the rest of them, just leave a comment or something like that. I don't mind doing another video because I do find these pretty useful. I'll have to take a look and see if this is available in the JavaScript API yet. If it is, then I think it would make a lot of sense to probably do a video on that as well, just to put it out there. But yeah, if you have any questions at this point, feel free to put them down in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.